In some ways, it was actually easier for me to leave.
Hug.
Because I knew I didn't want to get them sick.
It's our job as people to help other people.
She's the only person that knows exactly what I went through.
Hello, I'm Sonia Gutierrez. They are the quiet and not so quiet heroes of our families. Moms, mothers, mamas, mommies. No matter what you call her, she is the one who holds our hearts and showers us in unconditional love. This week on Colorado Voices, you'll meet moms from across the state who are helping lead change and inspire our next generation.
Did you learn anyone's name today?
No.
The importance of being a foster family is to be able to open up your home to that child and help provide them with some of that healing and that, consistency and structure, and help them to grow and thrive.
Who did you play with?
What's important about this family right now is that it's the family that we chose.
What do you want for your birthday?
I want my very...
Do you want cupcakes? Cupcakes!
It's the family that is right for us.
Look at her vacuuming.
This is what foster parents do. You bring kids into your home, you treat them like they're your children, and then ultimately sometimes they have to leave.
So our family consists of me and Rita, and then we have a 2-year-old foster child who's getting ready to turn 3, and he'll be very happy to tell you that.
How old are you going to be? 3.
And then we have a 6-year-old who we adopted last year at 5.
Being a foster parent is definitely important to us because, it helps us to grow our family, but it also gives us the opportunity to really change kids' lives. There's just that sense of we're doing something that is so positive and helpful and good just for us and for our family and for these kids. I don't want to say it's become who we are, but it's a big part of who we are.
Family is life, it's love, it's hope, it's fulfillment. It's fulfillment.
What do the birds say?
There is such a need for foster parents and foster families and good foster homes because there's always more foster kids than homes available.
I want my big one.
Which is just sad, to think about these kids that really need a place to live and that home, and it's a challenge to find that for them.
Let me see if there's another one.
We liked the foster piece, the providing them with that ground level, that base level of like a love and support, and knowing that they may not stay here, but giving them something to at least have that's good for them, because they don't come to us in a good situation, and that's why we're fostering, but making sure that whatever we give them will just make them better in the future, whether they're here or somewhere else. So
being able to provide just that consistency and the structure and the love and support, and being able to help them start to learn to feel safe and start to attach and do those things, because of course they need to have that attachment and build that trust to be able to then ultimately be able to grow and focus on other things besides focusing on being scared or being whatever those kind of bigger feelings are.
to know that we can provide some of that stability and that safety and that enough love.
In foster care, there's no way to protect your heart. You go into it full on loving these kids and knowing that you're going to have your heart broken. You're going to go into it loving that child with all you have. And if they leave, you know that it's going to hurt and it's going to be hard and there is heartbreak.
She's definitely a miracle, and I think she was obviously she was here. She's here for some reason. She came in during the pandemic. Hi, baby girl. Hi, Natalia. She was born January 26th at 11:39 a.m. It's a miracle. Hi. She was the only person I had when I was sick in that hospital alone. So I did talk to her, obviously. I could just talk, no response back, except maybe some kicks. She weighed 4 pounds, 8 ounces, believe it or not. She's the only one that knows, like, all the crying, all the loneliness, all the scary stuff, not knowing when, when the doctors are coming in and telling you, call your family and all the different medicines, you're just by yourself. And well, she was with me. And of course I thought about like how those medicines will impact her, because they all told me that they didn't know. They said, we could do this, this, and that, but we don't know. We don't have enough knowledge of what it will do to her. I was shaking like profusely, like I couldn't, and it was a fever. My fever was like almost 103, almost 104. Every night I would get it, but my body would not stop shaking. I felt like a guinea pig, because nobody knew how to treat me, because again, I'm pregnant and with COVID so bad. They seen positive COVID in women, but nothing like me. It's just amazing, because like I didn't even know like like we were in the point where what if we both didn't make it? We wouldn't even be here right now. Honestly, it's just crazy to think that like we were both so. Well, I was sick. To this day, I don't know how it impacted her in the womb. They never really told me, but it's just crazy to think that she's doing all this and I'm here to be able to witness it. But we never really referred to her as like a COVID baby. But when she did come into the world, I'll be honest, she was not like breathing right away. They kept counting, like I was in the operating table obviously and I was awake, but they kept counting like 15 seconds, 30 seconds, and she wasn't responding. And then finally they got to 45 seconds and they got her to breathe. So that was like, just laying down on the bed, scary, because she wasn't breathing right away. She's like my little best friend. And then with everything that me and her went through, and she's fine, I'm fine, thank God, So she's definitely a miracle. That's who she is. She's our miracle. Crazy how my life was then, and now it's definitely a whole different lifestyle right now. This is Amaya Gomez. She was born on March 31st, 2022. They are exactly 14 months apart in age. It's a roller coaster. It's a little crazy sometimes here with all these females. Athena, my oldest daughter, she's 16 years old. My second daughter is Alicia. She's 9 years old. And then we have our third daughter, Miss Audie. And then we have Miss Italia. And then we have the new addition to the family. Okay. Here we are. I have all the age groups. Mother's Day means to me just being honored to be a mom, to be called that, like even just the wording of mother, an honor to be called a mom, a mother. Especially this Mother's Day, like I have another new bundle of joy. We're actually kind of normal. So this Mother's Day, it feels like it'll be super special, but super normal, which I want normal. Normal to me is just this right here, being no mask, being able to, because when we were in the hospital with Thalia, we had to be masked in the NICU as well, that's not normal. Your baby should be able to see you smile. And even the nurses would comment like, just put it down a little bit because they need to see you smile. That's how they learn, So just this is just normal for me, like being able to be without a mask, just being with your children and being able to just kind of go out without having to worry so much. That's normal to me. I'm very thankful for having my 5 definitely healthy daughters. It's amazing. And I think I only have daughters because obviously I was only meant for daughters. So God's like, you can't have no sons because you can't handle a son.
Oh my God.
I didn't ask my husband. I kind of signed up, and then 48 hours later got a phone call saying like, hey, can you be on a plane in 24 hours? And so I kind of turned to him and said, hey, so I know we have a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old, and I know there's like this massive global pandemic happening, and I want to go to the epicenter. Is that okay? And oh, by the way, I'm leaving in 24 hours. Hi, Camille Sasson. I'm an ER doctor. I have been practicing now for 18 plus years. Work here throughout the Denver metro area. I think within just a few weeks, the numbers started to spike in New York City. It was clear to me that I needed to be out there to help. Just a little overwhelmed, thinking that I have no idea what to walk into in the next few hours, but here we go. It's the first time in my career where I couldn't go back to a book, right, and say like, oh, what is this? We were literally living history.
I love you. Have a nice day. Hug.
You do it because you know you have to. You really want to be there to help other people, but I didn't think I was going to get this emotional, sorry. You know, I think there's also just there's so much fear and anxiety. And you know, there's the fear of like, hey, look, I'm going to go to the epicenter of all of this and put my life on the line, but there was more fear for me being at home and bringing it home to my family. And so in some ways it was actually easier for me to leave, and to leave them for a month, and then to leave them actually for the next almost year, because I knew I didn't want to get them sick. I hit a point where I think it was the very end of December, I got my first vaccine shot, and I felt like everything just changed. And I was like, after I can go home. It's just sort of being able to, you know, to role model for my kids. My purpose in life is to help other people. And so I'm going to go do it. And I will come back to my family, and I will always care for them, and they will always be my number one. But there are times when you have to sacrifice to do that. And then I think just family and friends who, you know, even in our hardest times when my husband was by himself taking care of the kids, like I had a village who helped him. And so that's been my coping mechanism, is knowing that like through this all, like I have just an amazing group of family and friends that are going to support me, even in my darkest times and in my best times. So I have been working here in Denver as an ER doc, and also, you know, I work full time for the Heart Association, and so I kind of went back to my real life job. I work for the Veterans Healthcare Administration nationally as well, but really kind of thinking back to more of my public health, global policy kind of stuff that I really like. And so, you know, it's been good. I think it's been a good, like, transition back to some sense of normal.
I'm getting Steffi's COVID-19 shot.
My daughter did the cutest thing. She had a vaccine clinic for her stuffies that she would host every few weekends. And so I have these like amazing little videos of her like lining everybody up on our bed so she could give them the vaccine. This is before she could get hers. She tells me every time I go out every month, well, is it time yet? Can I go work with you in the ER? And I was like, you're 5. Like it might be a little ways away. But she's, you know, she's convinced that that's what she has to do. But, you know, the coolest thing is like, they both have this innate ability to just care for other people. It's not about what you want to do all the time. Sometimes it's about the people who don't have the ability to make those choices.
He was darling as a little boy. Well, he was just darling all the way around as far as I'm concerned. Started with drinking, then marijuana. It just kind of escalated. Pills were his drug of choice, ultimately. Opioids. My name is Sheila English-Ogden, and I am the parent of an addict who lost his life as the result of fentanyl poisoning. If you met Zach, you wouldn't know he was probably an addict. He was a very good-looking guy, very jovial, could strike up a conversation with anyone. He was artistic. He was very smart. Zach was smart. I mean, he was a great student, big baseball player through most of his life, and extreme skier, just would try anything. He was very high performing, and he had so much to offer the world, and he was so talented in so many different ways. He always, you know, said that he would never get married and he would never have children. And he just was like, why would anybody want this? And why would I want to pass this on? So he knew. He knew we had a problem. I am working on myself so that I can experience life with you, Dad, and family, and be of service to you. It's just going to take time and work to get there. I hope you have a wonderful Mother's Day and know you are the best mom I could have ever had in this life. I love you dearly and thank you for showing me how to be the best human I can be. With love, your son, Zach. He fell asleep at a traffic light, with his foot on the brake, and he was very much under the influence. From that point, it just snowballed. He could get very belligerent. He could get physical. I would like to think it was never intentional, because he was always very sorry. The next day, he went in 2014 to his first rehab. He wanted help again, and we sent him to another long-term facility. We would have loved for him to do more, but we couldn't afford it at that point. It was very expensive, $75,000. Zach got out of sober living. He rented his own apartment and was very proud of it. It was his own money that he earned, and that was in September of 2019. In early December, Zach confided with us that he was struggling again. And Christmas Day, he was over here, and I could tell something was off. And little did I know that, you know, in the next 24 to 36 hours, he was going to be gone. It was fentanyl toxicity. That's what he had in his system, and it was a pill that looked like an OxyContin. Then he took half of the pill. And Zach was a big, strong guy, and it literally, from how he was found, it dropped him to his knees in his kitchen, and he fell backwards. There are certain causes of death that are so heavily judged by society. If you would have been a better parent, and that hurts, because we are good parents. Fentanyl is the leading cause of death between the ages of 18 and 45. Over 100,000 people died of fentanyl last year alone. And that was more than cancer deaths, that was more than car accidents, that was more than COVID, all put together in that age bracket. I'm wanting to educate people on fentanyl. You can't do illicit drugs and not worry about fentanyl anymore. It's in everything. There's more that needs to be done. We've got to talk about this, because for Zach, you know, there is no justice, but there could be justice for that next one, because I do want to honor Zach's life and know that he did not die in vain.
I was diagnosed with cancer in October of 2019. I was diagnosed with breast cancer. My primary care doc found a lump, so they figured that it was probably stage 2 with all the information that they had gathered so far. They put me in a clinical trial, and all I had to do was get restaged, which is like a full body scan, to make sure there's no other cancer anywhere. Well, they found some in my bones. That means stage 4 cancer, and that is incurable. 22% of people will live 5 years after diagnosis. That means that I have a lot to do to make sure that Jay is taken care of. I'm worried about when my son, who was assigned female at birth, he's transgender, I worry about how he'll get his gender-affirming care when he can no longer be on my insurance. Knowing that no matter what his circumstances are, knowing his care is covered is just a huge load off my mind. Oh, his mental health is so bad right now. He has been through a lot and it's taking its toll. I mean, he has really bad insomnia. He's always struggled with anxiety, which has gotten worse, depression, a lot of trouble expressing his feelings. So it's hard to get him to talk, whether that's to me or, to me or a counselor. It just broke him. He's been hospitalized a couple times during the pandemic for psychiatric emergencies. It is just not easy to be a kid going through everything that he's going through. I wish that I could just get rid of the major stressor. Take the cancer out, toss it in the trash. The love that I have for Jay. He's always been the same person since he was a newborn up to 14 years old, up to now. So whether he was presenting as female or male, he's always been the same creative, hilarious, awesome kid. And I've always felt indebted, obviously, but also very much wanting to do my best for him and give him the best in life. It's our job as people to help other people. That's why we're here. That's why we're social creatures. It's our job to help. And I want him to be happy and healthy enough to do that help. He's a very compassionate person, and I want him to be in the mindset to help other people. But when he's holed up in his room because he doesn't have any clean binders, or because he doesn't like the way his voice sounds that day, or because suddenly the shorts that he's wearing, he decides they look too girly, then he can't go out and do that. He just sits and wallows. I would like to see mandatory classes in medical schools about treating transgender patients and how to do it and why to do it, the medicines that are used, the doses, because too often transgender patients are educating their doctors on what their doses are and what their struggles are and what they might need in case of a nasty side effect. Just be nice to them. Be decent, good people.
This is Mirabelle.
You've likely heard of this or are experiencing it yourself.
You want to tell the story? I know. You weren't there.
More time at home might spark a baby boom.
Right, Morgan? Say yes.
Well, it's not the case nationwide. Birth rates are actually down. It is the case for the Denver salsa dancing community. They're experiencing a mini baby boom.
It's in their bones, it's in their blood, and they are going to be dancers.
On top of all the responsibilities, stress, and work that comes with being a new mom,
Oh.
Erin Vasquez, Meredith Fisher, and Bryony Wilson made time to think about someone else.
While we were pregnant, just, craving, missing to be connected.
Craving to dance and craving to be there for each other.
I didn't even realize that there were so many of us, which was kind of why we decided to get this thing together and come together to support the community.
The idea of a Mommy and Me salsa calendar was born, and the proceeds?
Not another thought about it. That's what the money was going to go to.
The proceeds were going to employees of La Rumba, their favorite dancing spot in Denver.
La Rumba quickly became my home, away from home.
That just speaks volumes for someone to even think of that.
After working at La Rumba for 20 years, Danny Dawson was the last to lose her job.
I was so touched. I was
I was just, I was so touched and incredibly grateful.
So touched by their kindness, she decided to pass it along.
I'm just divvying it up between the 4 employees that do not have any other work, that have been completely out of work since the shutdown. I'm not including myself in that.
She says she's been receiving unemployment and will be okay, but her colleagues are who she's worried about.
Top to bottom throughout this whole thing, I think that's an important lesson for us as a society to learn. It's, be a community, help each other out.
The way these mothers thought about others before themselves, and Danny thought about her colleagues before herself, speaks to the incredible community that is Denver salsa dancers in La Rumba.
Enjoy your community, support your community, and only good things are going to come from that.